Jeff, can you sing choir? Were you in the choir?
I've told y'all before, my dad was a music director and a choir teacher, and my mother, they're both double music majors.
Yeah.
So they shoved music down our throats. They wanted us to be the next, great, like, church, the Gaither Trio or something,
Yeah.
And we were terrible. Me, Kurt, and Andy, we went total opposite. So I learned raising my own children, I wasn't going to shove anything down their throat.
Where do you rank in the Traylor brothers of singing? Middle of the pack?
I don't even know. I love going to church and singing. But even Care Bear gets on to me that I sing too loud and I get too into it. I'm like, if the Spirit's moving, let me go, man. Let me go.
Yeah. Well, I got a hardball question for you here. Do you have a starting quarterback to announce today, or
no? We don't. I've got two really good ones.
Yeah.
I feel really good about both those kids. I mean, if you're at the scrimmage, both of them can get us down the field. We can score both those guys. The other three are progressing and becoming good, but I know I've got two really good ones, and I feel great about them. And if I had to put either one of them out there, I would not blink. And we've been successful with both those kids.
How difficult will that decision be when you have to sit both of them down and say, you're going to start, you're going to back up, but be ready? Because since you've been here, everybody knows it's been Frank's team. This is going to be the first time that you're going to actually have to sit there and tell somebody you didn't get the starting job, even though you had a great fall camp. Not
really, though, because Josh Atkins and Lowell Narcisse and Frank Harris were three wonderful quarterbacks. That was very hard. JoJo Weeks as well. There were four that were very good quarterbacks. And this one is similar in the aspect of Frank was wonderful, but all those other guys are too. And this time we've got two guys, in my opinion, that have proven on the field they deserve to play, and they're wonderful people off the field as well. That's always the tough part of this job. Is single digits sounds great for the 18 to 20 that get them, which common sense would tell you that means 100 did not. It looks great getting to have the relationship you have with the starting quarterback, but the crushing way my heart feels for the guy that doesn't get it. And I've told this to my guys many times. The day that doesn't bother me anymore, it's time for me to go home. So to answer your question again in a very Jeff Traylor fashion, short question, long answer, it's a very painful day.
Who gets brought in to help on that decision? Offensive coordinator, quarterback coach? Is it almost by committee with you making final decision, or is it kind of like, no, I know what I'm seeing, I'll make that decision?
No, obviously, Justin Burke is the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator. Pavel Patel is his assistant, and Matt Turner oversees everybody around here, honestly. So the four of us are always in conversations, but we'll also go around the room and listen to everybody in the entire building that's on the football field, and just to hear their thoughts, and just so everybody has a little bit of say in it. But in the end, my job is to make decisions, and their job is to make suggestions, and everything goes through me here, so it'll ultimately be my decision.
It's a good problem to have, having a couple of guys you can choose from.
Yeah, I wish I had five. The other three are just a little bit young. Demetrius has played, which that does help, and we're learning him and figuring out what is best for him to do on the football field, and creating a style of football for him where he's successful. And Brandon today and Jackson both did some good things as well. They just haven't played like Owen and Eddie have in our system. Demetrius has played, just not in our system in the games.
You mentioned coming into the fall that the cornerback room was one you'd have to keep an eye on and see kind of how the competition played out there. How is that room shaking up as you guys go through fall camp?
We're really good at that position. It's going to be, we got a bunch of guys in that room that can play. We recruited well, we developed well, and Nick Graham, as always, has done another fantastic job.
We were just talking to Zay Frazier. What makes him more ready to be a standout this year compared to previous points in the career? How's he grown?
Oh, he's always had length and speed. I would say his maturity and conviction to the program, just a maturation. that's pretty normal for our kids here. And Zay's been with us a while now, so we expect Zay to keep coming on. He's always been a great special teams player, and we expect that to start showing up on defense now as well.
And it seemed like Zach Morris came in here and found a role pretty quickly on the depth chart. I think he started the spring game. What was it about him that allowed him to kind of settle in as quickly as he did and get acclimated?
Very mature, wonderful off the field, wonderful on the field, has played at a high level and very successful, and does it here as well.
Joe was just telling us about his kind of injury situation from last year. What's his status now, and what do you expect from him when the season starts?
Yeah, he'll be good to go. We're just being smart. He's a veteran. He's getting some veteran days right now, but when it's time to go, he'll be ready to go.
He said part of his reason for coming back is to have a potential for NFL to, increase his draft stock. What does UTSA provide for a player to have that, potential?
Yeah, it's just not factual that for people to say that you got to go play somewhere else to get on the field. That's just not factual. We got a lot of guys in the league right this moment that played right here from UTSA. So much props to Joe, and I hope he's rewarded for his decision to stay here. I really do. I know he turned down some short-term large money, but I hope he gets long-term large money.
What did it mean to you that he, liked this place enough or felt confident enough in being here to make that decision?
I'm torn, honestly, Greg. I am. I wish we had more to offer him. He deserves more. He's a wonderful human being. But we're just not there yet. But I am very grateful for what we can give him. I am. And for the men, the women that have sacrificed so those guys can have that, we're grateful. But I'm torn, to be honest with you, because I know my guys that stay and how much they give up to stay. And I know what my guys that have left me, all three of them, got. So, I'm torn. That'd be the best way to describe it. But I'm thrilled selfishly, but you feel a sense of responsibility to make sure that kid gets everything that he wants out of this. Just like you do when anybody chooses to be on your team and stay with you on your team. There's a great sense of responsibility, I feel, as the head football coach, and I think we should all feel that.
He was telling us a little bit about his musical flair. Have you gotten to see that side of him in his time here?
I have not. I'm embarrassed to say I've not. I will make sure and ask that to Joe, but I'm sorry I messed up on that.
It's an opportunity to maybe be a backup singer for him at some point. If that comes down the road, would you entertain that at all? Or?
This is his last year of eligibility, so I'd say I'd probably do it as a favor for him, but big odds on me not doing that. Unless Joe wants me to. If he wants me to be a backup, I can probably do a little bit of just, I don't even know what backups do, but I'll do that.
Jeff, piggybacking on the NIL discussion here with Joe, do you have a time frame, or maybe it's a question for the department? I seen North Texas hired an NIL person last week, and is there a timetable for when that happens here? I read that that's in the works.
I actually spoke to Dr. Campos about this today at our scrimmage, and kind of like what your question said, like she's has a plan, and I'm sure she'll unveil that plan when she's ready for that. But there's no doubt, you can see that South Florida hired a staff to do it. North Texas has somebody, Memphis has somebody. I saw Rice. Everybody's moving, and I know that she'll have something, and it'll be known to the public. When I don't know that actually. Knowing her, she wants to get all of her ducks in a row and make sure she's got everything taken care of before she probably speaks on it.
You mentioned the scrimmage. How'd the guys look?
It was perfect for a head coach because offense is mad they didn't score enough, but they scored some. Defense is mad that they scored some and didn't hold them to a shutout. And the only group we couldn't get going was our threes. On offense, we just never could get anything going. But our ones and twos had some success offensively, and our defensive ones and twos had some success. So I know we had a good field goal made by Chase and had some great punts hit by Kel. I got some good work, and nobody got seriously injured. So that was a good thing. We probably got 27 to 29 reps with our ones, probably 30 with our twos, and somewhere around 20 with our threes. So we'll have a good, around 80 plays to grade.
Cool. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank y'all very much.
This is Jeff.